Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning for another news update for Wednesday, October 9, 2025. And I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and productive day. And in the news this morning, forensic analyst says blood found on curtains in Noel Maitland's apartment. The court heard evidence from a government forensic analyst Wednesday that samples of blood were found on curtains inside the Constable Noel Maitland's Chelsea Manor apartment in St. Andrew. Maitland is on trial for murder and preventing the lawful burial of a corpse in relation to the July 12, 2022 disappearance of his social media influencer girlfriend, Donnelly Donaldson. Donaldson, who was last seen at the Chelsea Manor complex, was reported missing on July 13, 2022. Maitland is being tried in the Home Circuit Court. The forensic analyst told the court that she made a number of important observations when she processed the living room and the dining room of Maitland's apartment on July 21, 2022, from which she formed certain opinions. There was no evidence of forced entry into the apartment. An individual was injured in the apartment. Blood from an injured individual came into contact with a curtain in the living room and the dining room area. A kitchen mat was removed from the floor by the kitchen sink. Women's clothing was found in a black suitcase in the living and the dining room. It was for a person of a small body frame, she said. The forensic analyst said that the uppermost lock on the apartment door was broken on the inside with portions missing. She shared that she observed a brown fiber barrel, a couch, and a plug-in air freshener, among other things. She said the scent of the air freshener was noticeably throughout the living and the dining room area. She also said there were black balaclavas, a shirt, a pair of trousers, a mini knapsack, a flower pot, and an entertainment stand. She added that the clothing in the black suitcase were 2 panties and a size 6 black dress. The analyst said that her main task was to process the living and the dining room, but she was able to make observation of other areas, including the kitchen. A balcony area was also processed. The analyst was shown a number of photographs and asked to identify and describe what she noticed in them. She told the court that she also went to the Matilda's Corner police station in St. Andrew to process a truck in relation to the case. No blood was found in the truck, according to the analyst. Meanwhile, trial judge Leighton Pusey advised the 7-member jury not to form any opinions in the case, as they have not yet heard all the evidence in the matter. We always remind you not to jump to conclusions. There is a lot more to come, Pusey said as he adjourned the case until today. Gunmen target women and children in Central Kingston shooting. What had been hailed by Member of Parliament of Kingston Central, Donovan Williams, as an era of peace for the residents of Texter Lane in his constituency came to an abrupt end Tuesday night when criminals turned their guns on mainly women and children who were relaxing in the area. Williams, who visited the scene Wednesday morning to provide support to the affected families, expressed deep distress over the attack, which left 6 people injured, including 2 small children and a teenager with special needs. It was the second such incident in a week after Sunday's mass shooting in Commodore Linseed St. Catherine, when armed men posing as police attacked a family yard, leaving 9 people shot, 5 of them fatally, including a 4-year-old child. Williams told the news Wednesday that while the Texter Lane community was no stranger to crime, it had been healing over the past year. It is a tragic morning, and it is surprising because this community has been experiencing a period of peace and calm. We have had a persistent run of calmness, significant reduction in violent crimes. Even the residents will tell you that they are surprised at this because no one knows where this is coming from, said Williams. According to police reports, about 8:45 p.m. Tuesday, people were gathered on the outside of a premises when a motor car drove towards them. Criminals in the vehicle then opened gunfire on the group before driving away. I'm here. I'm meeting with the families and relatives. Some of the victims are still in hospital recovering, some serious. So we have to provide support and monitor the situation and pray and hope that they make it through. But I can't fathom this. It's just inexplicable. All children. That is terrorism, said Williams as he sought to console the families of the victims. Among those most shaken by the attack was the father of 2 of the wounded minors. He told the news that he was not at home when the shooting occurred, but had received an alarming call from his partner, who told him that his daughter and his stepson had been shot and injured. I was on my way in. It was when we reached downtown me get the call. I couldn't even hear clearly what my baby mother was saying. All she did do was cry, he said, shaking his head in apparent disbelief. The hurting father shared that his stepson had a disability which left him vulnerable to the attack, as he would not have been able to escape the gunmen. According to the father, whose name is being withheld, he is frustrated over the disregard for the lives of children who did not deserve to experience such a traumatic event. I'm upset. From if I had the first shot and you see that it's bare baby I run up and down, them should have just go where them a go. If you realize it's kids, what you are shoot for? A child should never live to go through that, he said. He added that he was happy no lives had been lost and indicated that his daughter, who was shot in the hand, and his stepson, who was shot in the shoulder and the leg, were slated to undergo surgery. Another resident who told the news that she saw some of what unraveled from inside her house said she is now fearful and traumatized. She said that after she heard the first 4 rounds of gunfire, she rushed to her window to assess the situation. It was 4 guys. 3 came out of the car and started firing at a woman, 2 young kids in maybe 4th or 5th grade, and then the disabled boy who was sitting on a step, she said. According to the woman, she thought the community had moved past acts of violence, and she is now worried as the criminals did not show discretion towards the women and the children. The violence, the shootings, killings, it was a frequent thing between last year going back. So the piece is now 1 year old. And then this happened. Everybody is tense because there's a lot of females around here. So we are on the lookout. There's always a lot of children here. So everyone is on the edge right now. It's pretty bad, added the woman. In the meantime, Williams told the news that while he understands that the police need time to complete their investigation, he hopes that the criminals will be quickly apprehended, as this would deliver justice to the families and the wider community. I know the police will do their work. They have to get on it and do their investigations and bring the perpetrators to justice, he said. Legal battle between POA chairman and the police commissioner stalls. The legal battle between Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake and the chairman of the Police Officers Association, Senior Superintendent Wayne Cameron, stalled on Wednesday before the Supreme Court. The court was scheduled to hear an application by SSP Cameron's attorney for leave to seek judicial review for a move by the police commissioner to remove him as chairman of the POA. But when the matter was called up, the presiding judge, Justice Natalie Hart-Hines, decided to recuse herself from the case following an application by lead attorney for the police commissioner, King's Counsel Peter Champagny. The hearing is now set for October 29. Last month, the Supreme Court granted an interim injunction restraining Commissioner Blake from removing Senior Superintendent Cameron as chairman of the POA pending further orders from the court. It followed a directive issued by Dr. Blake ordering that SSP Cameron vacate his post and be denied recognition by the Police High Command. The Supreme Court also granted a stay of implementation of the decisions of Dr. Blake pending the determination of the case. The injunction was further stayed on Wednesday pending the hearing of judicial review. The court had warned that if the commissioner fails to comply with the terms of the order, he will be held in contempt of court and may be liable to be imprisoned or have his assets confiscated. Indicom urges JCF to rein in use of lethal force amid a rise in deaths. The Independent Commission of Investigations is pressing the Jamaica Constabulary Force to explain the spike in deadly police shootings saying it has found no justification for the rise. It is now urging law enforcement to take immediate steps to rein in the use of lethal force. In its special investigative report on planned police operations tabled in Parliament on Tuesday, the independent investigative body said that the increase in security force fatalities is self-evident with the deployment of multiple planned entry and the search operations since 2024 contributing significantly to the rise in deaths. There has been a rise in the number of fatalities since 2020. Indicom said in the years 2019 to 2023, the average proportion of deaths arising from planned police operations was 15.5% and a low of 10% in 2019. But the proportion of deaths from planned operations account for between 40% in 2024 and 51% in 2025. Indicom said the reasons for the increase are not fully established, nor is it understood as to why seemingly so many gunmen in the last 2 years are reportedly challenging the police, resulting in their deaths. The oversight body reasoned that the JCF is expected to observe the right of life, yet its operational tactic of what it calls dynamic entry has resulted in an increase in police-related fatalities. Among its 11 recommendations also is the use of body-worn camera resources for the fugitive apprehension teams as a matter of priority. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.